Hello, hello. This evening I want to share a contemplation. First of all, the heat is tremendous. Oven in an oven in an oven. 110 degrees without wind. You walk into soup. That is what I heard this morning on the radio as I was driving to work. And at the end of the day, when I was driving north to my home in the state of South Dakota, I turned the government vehicle into a car wash. First a fuel pump, and then through the card ordered, saved, relegated, however one wishes to say it, cue it, the car wash. And as I pulled in discriminately, because there was an option, as I was pulling the car towards the two doors, the two garages, on the one hand, soft cloth. On the other, air dry. Now, a week or two before, my supervisor, with his hand on the wheel, steering wheel, suggested I come here after driving for so long. And he and I had an understanding. And there I was, in front of these two garage doors, tempted to send a picture. Here I am. But I said to myself, let this be invisible as a point of contact between us. So I chose the soft cloth because that's what he had chosen before, and I drove in, and this bar up ahead said, drive forward in green. So I drove forward thinking to myself, keep it on line, keep it on line. You don't want a tire turn to the right or to the left. And then flashing red said stop, so I stopped. Then the four corners of this interior garage, which was a big machine assembled with parts, started heaving up and down and then moving slightly to the right and to the left. And I realized it was scanning the inside to find me, to find the car, to find an object, an obstruction. What was it looking for / finding / measuring? And then when it was heaving and moving slightly, it stopped itself and proceeded to do things. And the things it was doing, I could follow along. Because to the right, up ahead, below the bar that said stop, which was now glaring red, there was a list. Pre-soak, etc. Something about the tires, spot-free rinse, and then air dry. And this new bar came down from the roof. And this bar had strips of cloth. And it was now spinning, rotating and moving in a horizontal fashion towards me, towards the windshield. And as I saw in the midst of these clips of cloth, blue cloth strips moving, I saw the stainless steel bar. And it was coming, now at eye level, moving up slightly, although it was hiccuping up. I said to myself, what if it doesn't reach the top before it horizontally moves against the glass? How does it know where I am? It moved up. The stainless steel did not kiss the pane. And then it had these vertical soft cloth pillars jamming themselves between the garage wall and the passenger doors. I asked myself a question, and the question motivated this video. The question I asked myself was, and still is this car wash respecting my boundaries? Does it know I am in there? Does it know I have pulled in? Does it have any inkling of what it is doing for me with its blue strips of soft cloth? And obviously one could say yes and no at the same time. And it was now applying the spot-free rinse after it had individually brought this suction cup with water guns against each tire. And I was seeing I was nearing the end of the list. And then the dryer at the bottom step came on in green, and the red above went to green, and it said drive forward. And as I drove forward, huge fans to my right and above were roaring. And outside the garage door ahead, through which I could see the setting sun's pane strip of bottom of the door sunlight in the west, I saw a clock. 45, 44, 43. Ooh, I better move the car forward. Beyond the nose, beyond the middle, to the end, 15, 14, 13. And I drove away. What happened? What boundary, porous or not, was mitigated between the visible and invisible? Artificial intelligence, is it even artificial? When I said to myself as I was accelerating, following the green, driving forward towards those huge fans, I said to myself, oh, here's where I come in. But did I ever enter that car wash as far as the car wash software was concerned? Behind all those blue strips, was there a brain? Was there any care? And then I thought about people washing cars, making a day of it, an afternoon even, and the quality of the time spent waxing on, waxing off, etc., etc. And then I thought about my supervisor. And tomorrow he will walk past my car, not my car, but the car I drive for work, and he will see this does not look like a dust ball. Does not look like it went through small town roads. How could this be? And we will have an understanding. We will have a trust. I don't think computers ever sense this when they are doing their job. How could they? They do not have souls. And finally, it made me reflect on how precious a gift time is, in which we can invest trust, invisible adventures, and gain insight into the spaces of one another. And that's all, before I begin to invent things. My goal with tonight's contemplation was not to draw too many images or say suggestive things, but perhaps to give some perspectives and evocations with what was the other word? Perspective, awareness, and reflection. And as a result, I am less weary. Have a good night.